Well, good morning. Jim Sunderwirth here from My Swing. So good to see you today. We're in our new year. We're all excited about what God's going to do for all of us this year because He's going to do miracles. I guarantee He's going to do miracles. I know, big questions, but listen, God's going to do miracles. He did miracles for the children of Israel, and He's no respecter of persons. If we obey Him and love Him and serve Him, He's going to do miracles for us too. Hey, listen, we're in this book called Numbers, and God is concerned about numbers. He's concerned about detail, and if you read this thing all the way through, just detail by detail, you'd find that those first few chapters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, would be telling you about duties and responsibilities of the Levites, and they'd be talking about the duties and the responsibilities of the other people when they bring their sacrifices and what they're responsible for and how they're to do it. See, God is beginning to get these people lined up in that relationship of worship and that relationship of responsibility to one another, and so he's getting ready to lay out all the laws. And Leviticus is talking about the responsibilities of the Levites, which were called to be the priest. Remember, that's a wonderful thing to remember, that when you're called, you're a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people. They were, and so are we. Peculiar people means you're God's pocket change. He can do with you what He wants to do. And I mean, when when you get your check and you have to pay all your bills, but then you get it all said and done, and you've got money left over, and it's not obligated to paying for the wash machine or paying for the car or the house or anything else. It's just your money. You can do with it what you want. Well, that's what the peculiar people means. It says that we are God's peculiar people, or His pocket change. He can do with us because we're dedicated to Him. And we're going to talk about that in just a few moments, about the Nazarene, or the Nazarite vow. And so anyway, up from 1 all the way up to 6, and in past, it talks about these different responsibilities of the sons of all the Levites and what they're supposed to do. Well, what I want to focus on for just a few moments this morning is, we talked about the cross, how the cross is laid out with a tabernacle in the middle, and how that on both sides the different three tribes, they were about the same amount, and there was not quite as few on the west side. The north and south were the same, and then the east side had 156,000. And if you look at it from a bird's eye view, you see the cross. Jesus is the center of everything, and we talked about that's what needs to happen in our life. Well, they have in chapter 6, it talks about the Nazarene, or it's not Nazarene, there's a difference between a Nazarene and the Nazarite. It's the Nazarite vow. And this is where someone decides. Let me just read something to you. It's actually found 6, 1 through 21, if you want to read the whole story about the Nazarite vow. It's important, it's exciting to think about it when it says, "The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, when either a man or a woman," now this is the first time, it's a men's world. The children of Israel is men's. They brought the sacrifices, they built the tabernacle, they worshiped, they did everything, and they led their families. But here it says, say to him, either a man or a woman consecrates an offering to take a vow of the Nazarite vow to separate himself to the Lord. The Nazarite vow was to separate yourself unto the Lord by choice. This was not demanded of God. This is if you're making a big decision. You're find out what kind of job you should do, or who you should marry, or something about your children, or some major decision that you have to make, and you want to take a vow. That's what they could do. And they said, now, he shall separate himself from wine and similar drink. He shall drink neither vinegar made of the wine or vinegar made of similar drink, neither shall he drink any grape juice. Can you imagine? Not eat any fresh grapes or raisins. All the days of his separation he shall eat nothing that is produced by grapevines, or the seed of the skin. All the days of the vow he shall separate of his separation. No razor shall touch his head, and until the day he's fulfilled and separated himself. So if there's time limits here. There's also no drinking of wine, and letting your hair grow. And all the days that he separates himself, he shall not go near a dead body. Ho, 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 ho. Well, and he shall not make himself unclean for his father or mother, that is brother or sister, when they die, because of his separation for God is upon his head. All the days of his separation he shall be holy unto God. The Nazarite vow is one who separates himself as unto the Lord and says, I will be holy unto God. And it's very, very serious. We're going to talk about this some more. It's very interesting where we're going here in this book of Numbers. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Bye-bye.